Hmm. Hmm. All right. Okay. Zzz. All right. How's that? We're in business. Check, check, check. All right. Okay, guys. Welcome to the Red Owl News. I'm Master Lukey, and I'm your host. We got, no doubt, some exciting health news today, and I'm going to give you my unique insight, input, viewpoint as a Life Food Certified Health Coach. All right? So, I'm a former Ultimate Fighter, and I got mild traumatic brain injury that basically ruined my life. But my study with Dr. David Jubb saved my life. He put me on a special protocol for natural healing, and by learning this protocol, I became certified. The reason why I'm telling this story again, as I have before, is because I was on food stamps. I was getting $222 a month for not even a year, but that ended in November. I make a little bit of money teaching martial arts, like maybe 300 a month, and I babysit for a little more money. But I probably could use, if I wasn't fasting so much, I probably would need to go back on food stamps. So I don't know. I do also get Medicaid, Medicare, whatever. Not that I go to the doctor, but let's see. I also work with people who are in the system. You know, Sir Doyle. If you follow this channel, Sir Doyle's in the system, and my remote student who lives in a nursing home. She's on COVID lockdown, so I haven't been able to go train her in person. I've just been training her via Zoom once a week. I was doing twice a week, once in Zoom, once in person, but they locked the whole nursing home down for COVID, and so I haven't seen her in a few weeks. But you know, the thing about Medicaid is, they have their system. It's a government program. So let's see what's going to happen here. Medicare recipients days away from expanded access. Okay, so Medicare, I believe, is for older elders, because I'm on Medicaid. Starting in just a few days, Medicare recipients. Let's look up Medicare real quick. What is Medicare? Okay, Medicare is federal health insurance for people 65 or older. Rick, you in the Matrix too? What do you get? You get stamps? Nice. I would like to, man. I didn't apply yet or reapply because my what's her name? I don't know. The person who like I'm applying with, she works for the Social Security office. I forgot the word. She was asking for 6 months of bank statements, and if I gave her free 6 months of bank statements, I don't know that I would qualify. I probably just fucking slacked off, to be honest. It was only $222 a month, but that's money. So I'm gonna reapply. To be honest, what do you got going on, bro? Medicare recipients will gain access to more mental health care under their insurance plans. In previous years, so this is for 65 or older, Medicare has failed to cover beneficiaries' mental health care, but Congress approved the expansion beginning January 1st, so recipients will be able to pay for licensed mental health counselors and marriage and family therapy services in the new year. Oh, so I'm in school right now for this, being a licensed mental health counselor. So this is applicable. You collect from the the diagnosis schizoaffective. Oh, really? Hmm. Maybe I can qualify for that. I wonder. You get money for that, bro? Dang. I gotta look this up. I might be missing out on money, right? You get a good you get a good penny from that? It'd be worth it, I bet, for me. All I got to do is talk about how I believe I'm in contact with God, and they'll probably call me schizoaffective, right? Medicare is available to seniors as well as those age 18 and up with a major disability. I don't know if it's major. What is major disability? It affects your work, right? With a doctor's note. Okay. Major disability, vision or impairment, deafness, mental health conditions. Okay. Hmm. Acquired brain injury. Ooh. Ooh. Physical disability. Yo, I could definitely qualify for this stuff. My knee. But gaining access to the benefits often meant losing the ability to get counseling and therapy services. Hmm. People who previously relied on their work insurance for mental health services might have found themselves at a crossroads upon retiring. Financial advisor Christopher Henley, the CEO of Houston First Financial Group, told Newsweek. The deficiency in Medicare's mental health coverage could have led some to forego essential treatment. Hmm. Options were typically limited to psychiatrists and psychologists, which often have shortages depending on which area you live in. Hmm. So, let's see. It's not SNAP, right? Okay. It's not SNAP. I qualify. Yo. Cha-ching. No, this is not correct. It's not disability benefits. Is it? Hmm. Alright. Let's see. I don't know if this is the right website. I'm not going to do this on stream, but thank you, Rick. Man, you get MVP today, you know, as per usual. This is monumental. You could say that again. Licensed clinical social worker Brent Metcalf, owner of TriStar Counseling in Kingsport, Tennessee, told Newsweek many seniors struggle to find affordable mental health providers, especially in rural areas. In those areas, 1 in 3 adults are enrolled in Medicare, according to the Census Bureau, and that's often where Americans face the lowest number of psychiatrists and psychologists. But now that Medicare is being extended to licensed counselors and marriage and family therapists, another 400,000 providers will be available. That compromises roughly 40% of the entire mental health workforce. For many years, people have debated if Medicare should cover mental health services, with, with, with much of the reluctance for coverage being generational, said Christopher Fong, CEO of Arizona-based Smile Insurance Group and a Medicare insurance specialist. Many of the people we meet who are older and on Medicare either don't believe mental health is something that exists or that they fear sharing their mental health concerns, Fong told Newsweek. Medicare's mental health coverage has historically been offered if medically necessary, but often has met that standard, Fong said. Still, older Americans are facing a mental health crisis, with Fong saying he's had several senior clients who ended up taking their own lives after struggling with severe depression. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 20% of those aged 55 and older experience some type of mental health concern. Anxiety, cognitive impairments, and mood disorders like depression are especially common. Older men have the highest suicide rate of any age group. Wow. The CDC said, with 45.23 per 100,000 compared to a national average of 11.01 per 100,000 for all ages. So 11 times 45, that's basically 4 times. Older men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than anyone. You saw my caseworker today. You saw your caseworker today. It made you feel suspect because you puff the ganja. You saw your caseworker today. I can't. This always an icon in the way of the freaking chat box. So there's like one word. Show your caseworker. Okay. Made you feel suspect? Like how? Like they saying that you shouldn't, or were you just paranoid because you were blazed? Were you paranoid because you were blazed, or are they saying you shouldn't get your money because you smoke weed? What's the deal with that? This is long overdue because in the past, Medicare restricted coverage to services only provided by a much narrower section of mental health providers, licensed psychologist Lauren Napolitano told Newsweek. Napolitano, who routinely sees clients for a range of mental health concerns, said the pandemic played a role in getting services more properly covered by Medicare. Since COVID, there is much more attention and understanding of the suffering of many Americans, even those over the age of 60. I think there's also greater appreciation that mental health treatment aids with medical conditions. Untreated depression, anxiety, and other conditions have been found to exacerbate chronic illnesses like heart disease and diabetes. I think insurance companies are coming around to the idea that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, Napolitano said. The more mental health resources are available for seniors, the less they'll suffer from loneliness, depression, and anxiety. I was trying to get some funds approved and they asked me what I spend my money on, and you mentioned it. Ooh. Uh oh. They don't want you to self medicate, I guess. I'm going to look into it, man. I'm going to look into that. Okay, what's next? Wow, this is a bombshell. CIA blocking release of COVID information, lawsuit alleges. The U.S. Central Intelligence Agency is accused of refusing to hand over information related to COVID 19, according to a new lawsuit. The Conservative Heritage Foundation filed a lawsuit against the CIA last week, detailing that the agency failed to produce documents that were requested through a Freedom of Information Act request earlier this year. This is an action under the Freedom of Information Act to compel production of CIA records relating to allegations that members of the CIA's COVID discovery team, a group of employees tasked with analyzing the origins of the COVID 19 pandemic, received monetary incentives to change their position on the origins of the virus. The lawsuit reviewed by Newsweek says. I have to be very careful when I talk about COVID because I can't say that I think COVID uh, I can't say that I think COVID wasn't real. So I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say I don't think COVID was real. I'm not going to say like I don't believe in germ theory, and I'm not going to say that everybody getting sick that at that time was because they turned on 5G all over the world. I'm not going to say that because YouTube will put a strike on my channel. If I insinuate that the actual cause of COVID-19 symptoms was radiation poisoning due to 5G being turned on over the globe, YouTube will put a strike on my channel. If I say that COVID-19 actually is a code word for 5G radiation poisoning and not a mysterious virus, and I definitely am not going to say that the vaccine was a way to put nanotech and monitor people and harvest their energy through 5G and what's that, cryptocurrency. I'm definitely not going to say that the nanotech is a way to harvest people's actual energy somehow. I don't know the technology, but people were saying that the nanotech, when people got the carbon nanofibers in their body, and somehow there is a way to use remote, remote harvesting of energy and putting that into some type of program that is a crypto program. You know how what is that? They farm crypto. People were saying that the vaccine was a way to farm people's energy into cryptocurrency, and maybe that's still ongoing if that theory was accurate, which I'm not saying that it is. So this is a touchy subject, and I gotta really be careful how I speak. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be very careful how I speak because I do not want to get a channel ban again. Channel strike, whatever. It still might happen anyway. Who knows? I should probably just fast forward and skip these COVID stories. Because the origins of the virus, it's like, oh yeah, a lab. Fauci was the fall guy. They supposedly made it in a lab, which is true. They did make the toxic cause of COVID-19 symptoms in a lab. All right? So, as of the date, let's get back to the story. As of the date of this complaint, CIA has failed to produce the requested records or demonstrate that the records are lawfully exempt from disclosure. It's just bullshit. Everybody's above the law except we the people. All these government alphabet organizations, CIA, FBI, DOJ, NSA, it's like they're supposed to be serving us, aren't they? Aren't they supposed to be public servants? And yet they're against us, and they don't work for us, and they work for whoever is responsible for this COVID catastrophe. They didn't notify plaintiffs of the scope of any responsive records it intends to produce or withhold and the reasons for any withholdings, or inform plaintiffs that they may appeal any adequately specific adverse determination, the lawsuit adds. The lawsuit comes amid ongoing speculation surrounding a COVID-19 lab leak theory, following a report from the Wall Street Journal detailing that the Department of Energy determined with a low confidence rating that the novel virus originated from a lab in Wuhan, China. Alright, well, if Newsweek says it, then I can say it. Excuse me. In the lawsuit, who is the Heritage Foundation? Is this RFK or... Here we go. Board of Trustees. Are these their actual pictures? Okay. Barb Van Andel Gabi, Michael Gleba, Larry Arnn, John Coleman, Edwin Fulner, Robert George, Ryan Haggerty, Price Harding, Virginia Heckman, Mark Colacotrones, the Honorable Edwin Meese III, Rebecca Mercer, Abby Moffat, Nursey Nazari, Daryl Owens, Kevin Roberts, Anthony Saliba, I heard of him, and Brian Tracy. Wait, Brian Tracy, is that the YouTube dude? Brian Tracy? I've heard of him, I think. Not the guy I was thinking of, but I think he's a motivational speaker, yeah. I knew it. Well, look at, is that an AI image or what? Holy. Guy's using filters. That's Instagram version of Brian Tracy. Dragon fruit is life, FYI. Okay, Rick. Sounds good to me. They got that at Cross Island Fruits, too. Too bad I'm fasting, but Success Books, Brian Tracy. Yeah, I seen him on YouTube a bunch because I watched those videos, success videos. He's on the board of this company, this Heritage Foundation that's suing the CIA. They stating that they filed a Freedom of Information Access request for information relating to the CIA's COVID-19 discovery team, such as its creation, records among members, communications between members, and documents regarding the pay history, to include the awarding of any type of financial or performance-based incentive, financial bonus to members of all iterations of the COVID-19 discovery teams. So basically, they want to know if the CIA's COVID-19 discovery team was bribed. What's ha, Rick? What are you laughing at? Something I said, or you were laughing at the story? The Heritage Foundation wants to know if anybody on the CIA's COVID-19 discovery team was bribed by being awarded any type of financial or performance-based incentive or financial bonus. According to the lawsuit, they filed this Freedom of Information Access request on September 20th, 2023, which was September, October, November, December, 3 months ago. Under the Freedom of Information Act, the CIA has 20 business days to produce or issue a determination communicating the scope of the documents it intends to produce and or withhold, the reasons for any withholding, and notifying that it may appeal any adverse determination. 20 business days from October 25th is November 20th. So they're late by a month at least. The story, you mean the CIA getting sued is funny. It is kind of funny, but like, isn't it bullshit? Like, they don't even have to answer. It's like, gosh, I hate to say this. All these people that are filing like their what is it? Their birth certificates, you know, and they're doing the state national or foreign national, and they're like, oh yeah, they get pulled over, and they're in court, and they're like, oh, you know, you don't have. They're telling the judge you don't have the jurisdiction, and then they just get the book thrown at them. I mean, I want to believe that nobody's above the law, but what about enforcement? These guys aren't listening, and what are they going to do? What is the Heritage Foundation's remedy now? You sued the CIA. They said, F you, we don't care what you say. And now what? What are you going to do, Heritage? What is Brian Tracy going to do to the CIA? Seriously. What's Brian Tracy going to do to the CIA? Is he going to motivate somebody to do something? He can't. He's a legend, I agree. Brian Tracy's a legend. I wish I was like him, man. But honestly, I don't see this getting resolved. Just like when they released the true story about the JFK assassination, and there's like 2 sentences on a full page that's not blacked out. The whole thing is remitted. There's like 2 sentences. It's like JFK was in the car, blank, blank. The rest of the page is blanked out with black marker. And then at the end, it's like, and then he was transported, another blacked out page, you know? Only a corpse can speak to a corpse. Kinda, not really, Rick. Maybe you're right, but according to Jub's latest, a corpse can't speak to a corpse. Of course. All right. A corpse can't speak to a corpse because a corpse can't speak. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But nobody's listening. At the time, Tammy Kupperman Thorpe, a spokesperson for the CIA's Office of Public Affairs, told Newsweek, let's see what they're saying here. At CIA, we're committed to the highest standards of analytic rigor, integrity, and objectivity. We do not pay analysts to reach specific conclusions. We take these allegations extremely seriously and are looking into them. We'll keep our congressional oversight committees appropriately informed. Okay, so the check is in the mail, apparently. Yeah, okay. Who knows? Right? Good question, Rick. Who? Who? Newsweek reached out to the CIA via email. What did you write? The CIA at CIA.com? What's the email for the CIA? I'm looking this up right now. This is a freaking joke. You're right, Rick. This is a big joke. The CIA email. It's CIA at CIA.com. What did that say? We read every letter and online message. I think you'd be better off sending them an @ on Twitter. The Office of Public Affairs handles all questions about the agency. They read every letter and online message, directing comments to CIA officials and responding as appropriate. Before contacting the CIA, be sure to check CIA.gov for the information you're looking for. If you've submitted an application, do not use this form to contact CIA. You can send questions in the post, okay? And we got an online form. Wow. Should I send them a message? Just type on your phone anywhere and they'll read it. Yeah. Flax. Big flax, Rick. Big, big. Huge. That's the only people who reads my stuff. 5 people on my chat and the CIA. Oh my God. I'm applying for disability though. I got schizoaffective disorder and a bum knee. I gotta get supplemental food money, and I gotta get disability money, and maybe I can get some rent money, like Sir Doyle. Americans flocked to the restaurants over the holidays. Okay, this came in yesterday. Not me. I went to my mom's house. What'd you guys do for Christmas? The 2 Ricks. You guys are name bros. The 2 Ricks. What'd you guys do for Christmas? Americans spent willingly at restaurants they didn't want to cook over the holidays. In another example of consumers continuing to spend despite fears that elevated inflation and higher borrowing costs would slow the U.S. economy. Spending at restaurants went up nearly 8% compared to a year ago as overall retail sales increased by more than 3% for that span during the holiday season, preliminary data showed on Tuesday. The company compiles spending insights through in-store and online retail sales across all payment methods. It's not adjusted for inflation and covers the period of November 1st to December 24th this year compared to a similar time frame the year before. You was Cali cruising on Christmas. Nice. Must have been good weather, huh? So this is the 2 months. It doesn't include Christmas though, only up to December 24th. This holiday season the consumer showed up spending in a deliberate manner. American consumers have demonstrated resilience in the face of various economic headwinds that include persistent elevated inflation. Okay, so this is a code, meaning Americans do not have good financial sense. Even when they have no money, everything costs too much, they're still wasting it on food and gifts that people don't need. I think that's an accurate statement. High inflationary prices compelled the Federal Reserve, and I can confirm that in my personal life. I spent too much money on food and I bought people a lot of gifts that they didn't need. High inflationary price, including $600 on grounding sheets. I bought 9 grounding sheets. One for me, one for my dad, one for my brother, which he's like, oh, I think I'm gonna have to research it, which I think he's not even gonna use it, so I'll have to ask for it back. One for each of my sons, one for Ace, my grappling coach, one for my girlfriend, and I don't know how many that added up to, but there's more. There was 9 spoken for. And that was my school money. High inflationary prices compelled the Federal Reserve to hike rates to a more than 2-decade high. Rates are currently sitting at a range of 5.25% to 5.5%, and policymakers held them at that level for the 3rd time in a row at their meeting earlier this month. Rick Salazar is also in Cali. Yep. You guys should hook up, connect. Rick, let me know if you want me to give Rick DeFazio your address or tell him where you're at. I know he's near LA. Is that where you are, Master Ricky D? Are you also in LA? I know you told me, but I forget. High rates have helped the cost of home and auto loans shoot up and made business investment more expensive. The Fed had instituted higher rates to slow consumers and their spending as a way to arrest soaring prices. Inflation has cooled to 3.1%, way lower than its 4-decade high of 9% in the summer of 2022. Yet Americans have still been able to keep spending as, despite prices falling, companies have retained workers who are more than willing to spend their earnings. Fed policymakers project that unemployment, currently at 3.7%, will tick up slightly above 4% next year, and inflation is expected to fall to 2.4%, they said after their gathering in December. The economic backdrop remains favorable, with healthy job creation and easing inflation pressures, empowering consumers to seek the goods and experiences they value most. I think the powers that be are waiting till after the holiday season, when everybody spends all their money, to crash the economy like everybody's been saying they're going to do. They just wanted to get a little bit extra out of people's wallets so they wouldn't have any money come, this year when they're going to take everybody down. You just got off a call. Okay. Hey, you're back. He's asking if you're in Cali because he's in Cali too. The two Ricks. When you guys meet up, we're going to have to give you different names. We got Ricky D and we got Ricky. Ricky S doesn't slide off the tongue like Ricky D, because you got the Y, that's an E sound, and then D also has an E in the sound of it. So Ricky D and Ricky C, S-I. You're Latino, right, Rick? So it's like S-I, like yes, Ricky C. You got Ricky D and Ricky C. Spending online is increasing at a faster rate than in store, therefore taking a growing slice of the retail pie, but shopping in store still makes up a considerably larger portion of total retail spending. Americans shopped for clothes the most, up more than 2% for the year. Spending on electronics slowed by 0.4% for the year, and buyers also held back on splurging on jewelry, which witnessed a 2% decline in sales compared to 2022. Grocery spending jumped by a little more than 2%. 818 LA. Let's look this up. 818 area code Los Angeles. San Fernando. Woohoo! We're going to zoom out. What the f... Okay, man, LA is huge, huh? Is that the Valley? That, like when they say Valley Girls? Do you live in the Valley, Rick? I see Sun Valley. Such a small area, like in the grand scheme of things, but there's so many like legendary places, you know? Burbank. Oh, the Hollywood sign. Okay. West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Bel Air. Right? Van Nuys. I heard of that. That's a skateboarding name. There's a couple of Valley something. I can't read that word. The stupid thing is in the way. Oh, oh, I know how to do it now. There's a couple of valleys. But where do the Valley girls live? So I want to know. Where are the Valley girls, Rick? That's what I want to know. Where are the Valley girls? Let's see here. Consumers were also being savvy about their shopping as they took advantage of early promotions by retailers. How'd you do on Christmas, by the way? How'd you do on Christmas? Did you do like this article is saying, is buy a bunch of stuff and spend all your money like me? Did you get a bunch of stuff? Do you celebrate? Maybe you don't even celebrate. Sorry. I don't mean to assume. Consumers were also being savvy about their shopping as they took advantage of early promotions by retailers, said Steve Sadovi, senior advisor for MasterCard and former CEO and chairman of Saks Incorporated. Retailers started promotions early this year, giving consumers time to hunt for the best deals and promotions. Ultimately, it was about getting the most bang for your buck, true, as consumers spent on a variety of goods and services, resurfacing spending trends from before the pandemic. That's it? Okay. What are people saying here? Conservatives desperate for bad news are just getting cold this year. They have Mike Rowe trying to claim that the 7 million unemployed is comparable to the Great Depression. The fact is that Republican Hoover was president with 12.8 million unemployed with a population of with 300. We have on 1/5 of Hoover's unemployment. Hoover and Trump are the only two presidents to have a net loss of jobs. Okay. But I thought Bidenomics wasn't working. Fake news, everyone's broke, nobody had money for Christmas, Biden ruined the world. Okay. I guess Newsweek is a left leaning news source. What do you think? Sounds like it, right? The 21-year-old retiree who left China's rat race for life in the rural mountains. Okay. It's your Chinese brother, Rick. Ricky D. This is your Chinese counterpart. Perched up against the edge of a cliff in China's southwest Guizhou, Guizhou, Guizhou province is the bamboo shack 21-year-old retiree Liu Yuan built from scratch. 3 years ago, he left his rural hometown. Not even gonna. Maybe I'll try. Xiaxizhang, Guizhou, for the city of Shantou in Guangdong, China's richest province, joining a decades-long nationwide migration of workers from the countryside that has fueled the country's enormous growth and created some of the world's largest megacities. But as a junior high dropout, it was tough for Liu to find a job. He said he was turned down by many factories due to his lack of credentials, before eventually finding work as a car mechanic, then a construction worker, and finally at a clothing factory. Disillusioned by the grind of city life, at the end of 2022 he decided to call it quits and return to the rolling hills and rivers of Guizhou. Liu's parents and older brother protested the move, but he wanted a simple life, he said, and to escape the high-pressure rat race. In the factory, I used to work from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., plus overtime. My time was not my own, Liu told CNN over the phone recently as he finished chopping up bamboo shoots. Now I get to wake up to the sounds of birds chirping. Wow, this really is you, Ricky D. Liu's frustrations reflect a growing sense of disenchantment among young people in China, many of whom face a dire job market. Burnout after years of grueling academic and work pressure, plus the traumatic impact of the country's draconian former pandemic policies. Plug in my phone here. Mod got me a electric charger. I mean, not charger, tire pump. So I had to pump that up. I'm good now. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, China's youth unemployment rate in cities and towns hit a record high 21.3% in June before the government stopped releasing the uncomfortable data. Oh boy. They just said, we're not going to talk about it. In response, authorities have encouraged urban youth to head to the countryside instead, a controversial proposal. Whoa. Last December, Chinese leader Xi Jinping urged young people to make the move to revitalize the rural economy, a call that has drawn comparisons with a previous campaign launched decades ago by the former leader Mao Zedong, in which tens of millions of urban youths were effectively exiled to remote areas. Xi was himself a member of the Sent Down Youth and has depicted his time in rural central China as a rewarding, life-changing experience that toughened his body and mind. Oh man, I'm trying to dig into my knee here. This thing freaking hurts. Holy. There's got to be ripped something or other. This is just not feels good. Something has got to be ripped in there. Oh, feels relief though when I squeeze certain parts of it. Oh, could you hear that? Something just cracked. Oh, oh wow. Oof. Xi Jinping was himself a member of the Sent Down Youth and has depicted his time in rural central China as a rewarding, life changing experience that toughened his body and mind. The entire village where the leader once lived has been turned into a communist shrine dedicated to him. You heard that? Oh boy. It's like, what is that? The chiropractic ASMR videos? I watch those. I want to get that. What is the ring dinger when they freaking pull your head straight out? I'll probably die from that though, to be honest. I don't know. Probably exaggerating. Anyway, um, authorities in Guangdong, one of China's most densely populated provinces and a major factory hub, said earlier this year they hope to send 300,000 unemployed young people to the countryside to find work. What kind of work, though? Farming? Living in the mountains has its challenges, as Liu discovered. At first, his parents worried about his safety being alone in the woods, so they installed CCTV around the area to keep tabs on him. Do they own the property, I guess? Then, to solve the problem of no electricity, Liu installed numerous solar panels around the shack. But he has also found an unconventional path to success, and a starkly different one than the farm work and blue collar jobs Chinese authorities have encouraged urban youth to seek out. Inspired by the Chinese vlogger and influencer Li Ziki, whose videos about life in rural China have earned her 18 million subscribers on YouTube. Wow. Liu now uploads weekly vlogs of his days in the mountains. Okay, let's check this person out. Oh, but she's gorgeous. That's why. Come on, this is like a model. What'd I do? Oh boy. I'm gonna get hungry. You, ooh. Liziki channel. I'm starting to think that maybe she was selected by the Chinese government. Look at this. Oh my God. It's just so perfect. Like, this is a professional. Look at these shots. She's doing this? I don't think so. I think this is a government sponsored website. What do you think? Oh, look at the tea. Wow. Mmm. Okay. What the? Really? Look at that. Wow. Look how she's dehydrating them. Holy. Incredible. Mmm. Wow. Are these people rich? What? Look at that table. Wow. Come on, bro. Really? Cherries? Oh my god. This is just too much. Dude. Is this a restaurant? What is going on here? Marry me already. Holy. That's crazy. So hold on, let's see here. Where's his name? Liu Yuan. Yaowen? No. Okay. So maybe his channel is like on in China or something. Okay. Here we go. And he isn't alone. Jianxi Xiaojie Xiaogi Xiaogi Xiaoge Xiaogi. I don't know how to pronounce that. Another Chinese food vlogger teaches her more than 10 million YouTube subscribers how to cook healthy food from a village in southwest Yunnan province. All right. Let's see her. Oh, here we go. Xianji Xiaoji. I'm a local Yunnan girl. Yunnan. Food made from colorful peanuts. Mutton hot pot. Harvest delights in rural autumn bounty. Whoa. Potato extravaganza. Sheesh. Walnuts from thousand-year-old trees. Yo. How do they taste? Aw. He looks like Gordon Liu, the master killer. Hold on. Let me make a racist comparison here. Alright. After I make this comparison, you guys can say, oh, they all look the same to you, don't they? You racist bastard. Gordon Liu, the master killer. Alright. Here he is, Gordon Liu. And oh, right at the end when he looked up is where it was. Ready? Yeah, I'm losing the plot. Let me go back. They all look the same to you, don't they, Master Lukey? Oh, a little sus, though, because they're so professionally done. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm so bad. I just can't believe somebody would be so make such good videos. Because look how crappy mine are. That's my thinking. Anyway. Okay. Another pair of Gen Z retirees, Zhao Chunzi and Jinjin's rural life from Sichuan province, also post content similar to yours. Let's see this one. I don't I don't think this is it, but I kind of want to see this. Oh, what I love about some Asian cuisine is how they have like all these dishes. It's like 10 different things to eat, and it's a little bit of each. I love that. I had my first experience with that was in Koreatown over here. Next, like next county over. I know you got Koreatown in LA. YouTube's among a number of social media sites behind China's Great Firewall, meaning it isn't accessible to most people in the country. Liu's videos range from him building a pig pen to his interactions with his furry companions, two dogs named Lucky and Flower. Armed with just a phone and a tripod, his one-man production begins as he works in the field to grow vegetables such as Chinese cabbage and garlic, as he prepares mashed up sweet potatoes and ragweed for his piglets. He says he never feels lonely with access to a television and his animals keeping him company. Since September, he's quickly garnered attention online with more than 350,000 likes combined across his social media accounts. Some online users voiced admiration, with one commenting, "He clearly knows what he's doing, has a healthy lifestyle, unlike some other Gen Zers who are addicted to video games." Another lamented, "The Zeros are starting to retire. What about those of us born in the 80s?" referring to Liu's retirement from the traditional workforce at just 21 years old. Yeah, I was born in the 80s, 1980. The lying flat movement, Changping in Chinese, exploded in popularity among young people in 2021, calling on them to reject social pressures to work hard, get married, have children, and buy property. Instead of endlessly laboring toward those traditional goals, which many now say offer diminishing returns, people should pursue a simple life, the philosophy suggests. Liu has pushed back on his critics. "Perhaps those who don't know me would see it as a form of lying flat, but I would disagree," he said. "I've built my entire home from scratch. Life in the mountains isn't that much easier than working in the city." To sustain his rural lifestyle, he incorporates advertising and product placement into his videos. Ooh, that's good to know. Advertising and product placement. I gotta start doing that. Hold on. I gotta write myself a note for tomorrow. Apply for Social Security and Apply for Social Security and am I going to write in green? What kind of pen do I have here? It's a pencil. Yeah. Look at this pen. Remember these? Got like 10 colors on it. Where is my... Sheesh. I guess I'm writing in... Oh, here's a pen. Got my new schedule book. Okay. December. Okay, so we're going to call this apply for assistance. Okay. Okay, videos, video ideas for product placement. Okay. Some video ideas for product placement. What do I got to sell? Food, clothes, and training equipment. From selling hand cream, facial cleansers, to hot and sour noodles. What? He's still making a small income to improve his living conditions, he said. In the future, Liu is planning to expand his home to build a chicken pen so he can sell meat online. And he said he encouraged those who wanted to move to the countryside to start their own business ventures there. Life in the mountains is much better than city life. Even drinking water costs money in the city. Well, that's true, but don't get into the chicken flesh business. There's got to be something better, bro. No offense, guys, if you eat chicken. I always got something negative to say, don't I? Gosh darn it. Parasite actor Lee Sun-kyun found dead in the midst of drug probe. Okay, I did see this movie, so which one? Let's see if I recognize. Oh, man. Bro. What are you on? Coke? It's got to be Coke. He doesn't look like a junkie, which is somebody who uses heroin. South Korean actor Lee Sun-kyun, known internationally for his role in the Academy Award-winning film Parasite, has died while being investigated for illegal drug use. He was 48. He was being investigated for use? Oh. They were afraid he was gonna rat, so they took him out. Dang, that stinks. That stinks. Okay. Police in the capital, Seoul, said in a statement they received a missing person report from Lee's manager on their hotline. Lee, who received acclaim for his role as Park Dong-ik, the father of the wealthy Park family in Parasite, was found in his car on Wednesday morning. The cause of death is presumed to be suicide. Photos from the scene show personnel in forensic outfits investigating a car cordoned off by police tape. Police in the city of Incheon confirmed that Lee had been questioned 3 times since October as part of investigation into alleged drug use. He'd been summoned by police most recently on December 23rd and held for 19 hours before he was released the following day. Throughout the investigation, all his drug tests came back negative, without specifying how many tests he took. He claimed he was tricked into using drugs and subsequently blackmailed by the same individual. He filed a lawsuit against the alleged blackmailer, according to police, who added they had received a tip about his alleged drug use before he filed suit. One man and one woman have been arrested in relation to the drug investigation. On December 26th, he requested police through his lawyers to conduct a polygraph examination of himself and the two other people apprehended. The police also offered their condolences to the actor's bereaved family, saying they had tried to prevent media leaks about his drug investigation before its completion, in accordance with South Korean law, which prohibits those involved in a criminal investigation from releasing facts about the suspect before a public indictment is released. Oh, there's another knee crack. A funeral for Lee will be held quietly with family members and colleagues in attendance, South Korean news agency Yonhap reported Wednesday. Actor Lee Sun-kyun passed away today, the company said. There's no way to contain the sorrow and devastated feelings. Please refrain from spreading false information based on speculation or assumption, the company added. CNN reached out to the agency for comment and immediately did not hear back. Various media events in South Korea's entertainment business have been scrapped in the wake of his death. The director and cast of South Korea's hit film 12/12 The Day canceled an event on Thursday where it intended to meet with fans in celebration of the film, surpassing 10 million in ticket sales. Here we go. South Korea has some of the world's strictest drug laws. The most serious drug-related crimes, such as trafficking and deal, can be punished by up to life in prison, and citizens can also be charged for taking drugs abroad. Wow. Drug laws have in the past forced celebrities in South Korea to retreat from stardom, as scandals have led to actors' contracts being canceled and movie releases being postponed. In October 2022, South Korea's Justice Ministry announced it would establish a government-wide cooperation system in response to increased drug use in the country. Earlier this year, President Yoon Suk-yeol pledged to mobilize all capabilities of the entire government to achieve victory in his war on drugs. Lee, whose career spanned more than 2 decades and made him a household name domestically, shot to international fame after his performance in Parasite, which became the first non-English film and first South Korean film to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards in 2020. He also won praise for his roles blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. He left behind his wife and their 2 sons. Oh, that sucks. His wife. First of all, I sincerely apologize for the great amount of disappointment I brought to so many people for being involved in such an unpleasant incident. I would like to bow my head in apology to everyone who has trusted me and supported me all this time. As I delivered through my agency, my position is that I will faithfully participate in the investigation with an honest attitude. I feel very sorry for my family, who is suffering a lot at the moment. I will sincerely and truthfully answer the questions during the investigation. Man, that doesn't sound like a guy who's going to off himself. I think the other 2 people involved killed him without knowing anything. That's just my gut instinct. Could be dead wrong. Patients with chronic pain tout the benefits of ketamine, but doctors still aren't sure how it works. Well, it's a cat tranquilizer, so I can take a guess. I don't know if I can make it till midnight, guys. Rick, It's 11:22. I don't know if I can make it to midnight. Forgive me if I don't. I'll try. What is it? 38 minutes left. Emily Ryan's life changed quite literally overnight when she was a freshman in college. She was studying for final exams and returned from the library about 10 p.m. She crept quietly to bed because her roommate was already asleep. Around 3 a.m., she woke up with intense pain radiating across her back. I couldn't feel my legs anymore, she said, and also smelled urine. The sheets underneath her were soaked. And as a 19-year-old person, I didn't pee the bed, so it was very surprising. That terrifying episode launched what would become a 10-year odyssey to find relief from unrelenting pain. She says she finally found it in what some experts think is an unexpected and controversial place, the psychedelic drug ketamine, which she gets through intravenous infusions every 90 days. What? Once every 3 months? Really? Ketamine's been used as a surgical anesthetic since the 70s. It became widely used in the field hospitals during the Vietnam War because it doesn't depress breathing and heart rate the way some kinds of anesthesia can. At the same time, it raises blood pressure and heart rate, which can be helpful for patients who've lost blood. Like some other psychedelics, ketamine's been proven to be helpful for treating depression and trauma. Let me ask you this, though. I got a referral from my general practicing doctor for a nose job. If I look straight at the camera here, you could see probably how my nose is off to the side, and that's from fighting. You're welcome, Rick. Thanks for, requesting it and everything. I do think about you as a reason for coming on. But I do want to get my nose fixed because I can't breathe out of the one side, and the other side I get low flow. So I'm literally operating, I would say, 25%. I got 25% breathing through my nose. So I do want to get a nose job, but I don't want to go under. What should I do? I don't want to go under because I don't know if they're going to shoot me up with fucking COVID. They're going to shoot me up with the COVID vaccine while I'm under. You know? And I heard the anesthesia that puts you under is really toxic because it basically kills you for however long. I don't know. I guess I have to look into it more. A derivative of ketamine, S-ketamine, was approved by the U.S. FDA in 2019 as a nasal spray for patients with depression that hasn't responded to other treatments. Some hospitals and specialty pain clinics also use infusions of ketamine off-label to treat intractable pain like the kind Ryan has. A lot of pain docs sort of think it's voodoo-ish, if you will. Sort of like, what are you really doing here? Says Dr. Tonka, a pain specialist in Cleveland, who's treating Ryan. Ketamine acts quickly in the body, is also cleared quickly within hours. Yet Ryan and others who use it for chronic pain say the relief they get after their treatments lasts for months. Experts say it's hard to understand how it could be working for that long, and they point out that while preliminary evidence is promising, there's just not a lot of high-quality research to help explain why. Tonka says he's hoping to raise enough money to properly study ketamine's utility for chronic pain. The binding to the receptor is over in maybe 10-15 minutes, maybe a couple hours if you're lucky. But why does it work so long? We're studying what I would call the downstream effects from the binding of ketamine. What else is it doing in the brain to cause this lasting relief? Emily's 29, lives in Ohio. She said she doesn't mind doctors don't understand exactly how it helps. She just feels that it does, and she's grateful. It was a long road to get there, though. When her parents met her at the hospital that night, she woke up paralyzed. Doctors initially suspected she might have an infection or kidney stones because there was blood in the urine. They quickly ruled those out. At the local children's hospital, they put her into an MRI machine and gave her a pair of special goggles so she could watch Frozen. She watched it once and then again, and on the third time I thought to myself, something's really wrong if I'm still in this tube. The, the something turned out to be a tumor pressing on her spine. Fortunately, it wasn't cancer, but the doctors told her it was in a place where it was compressing her nerves, and they admitted that they didn't know how to treat it. Because the tumor was sitting in a risky area, surgery to remove it could paralyze her. She had to use a walker to get around and lost all control of her bladder. Still, she searched for anything that could relieve her pain. The doctors kept prescribing narcotic painkillers, but both Ryan and her mom said the drugs scared them. I don't want to rot my insides and, become addicted. That's just very hard if it's going to be the rest of my life. Surgeons implanted a pacemaker device for her bladder, which has helped with her incontinence, and she became a patient of the pain management program at the Cleveland Clinic. She tried different procedures like epidurals to try to relieve her pain, as well as longer-term medications. She went into the pain clinic every 2 weeks for about 4 years, but nothing seemed to help. In the interim, other tumors have sprung up, also along her spine. Oh, God. I wish, I wish that it was. I wish I could send her a video that showed and talked about doctors injecting baking soda into tumors and them dissolving. I wish I could show her and tell her about Dr. Simoncini, who supposedly sprayed a solution of baking soda and pure water onto tumors, and they fell out like pimples. Like the tumor was surrounded by tissue, and instead of cutting into the tissue, the doctor sprayed the tissue with this solution, and the body just released the tumor. I hope I can say that. I'm just talking about a video. I'm not recommending any type of treatment. I'm not a doctor. I'm not recommending any type of treatment. I'm not giving medical advice. All I'm doing is talking about a video that I saw on YouTube. Let's see here. Dr. Simoncini from Italy spraying a solution of baking soda onto tumors and the tumors falling out. Whew. 2021, 2019, 2013. Cancer is a fungus.
When we look at cancer, and particularly cancer therapy, one of the interesting aspects of cancer that hasn't really been pursued that heavily is actually changing the extracellular pH environment. And this pH is very important for metastasis, growth, the things that actually cause cancer to kill people. And so what we wanted to do was discover a way that we could actually change this pH inside the animal. And to do that, we need to make a new type of material. And so this research, this publication, is really going over how we were able to take something as common as calcium carbonate and create brand new at the sizes that are necessary so that it goes towards and accumulates in the cancer itself and changes that pH locally and actually stops the tumor growth. Calcium carbonate is the same mineral that is found in limestone, in Tums. And what is really interesting about calcium carbonate that we found is that when you put it in blood, it doesn't dissolve. But when you put it in and let it reach the tumor environment where the pH is actually lower, you find that it does dissolve and it raises that pH up. So calcium carbonate becomes the system that we can use to change pH in vivo. And the nice thing about it is that you already have calcium in your body and you already have carbonate. And so as a result, our bodies can handle that system very, very easily.
Oh, God.
The research in large part was developing methods based off the literature and so forth that could make these small particles, keep it small so I could inject it and really make a difference in cancer biology. The tumor actually stopped growing while we had the injection going on.
Wow.
And then when we took it away, the growth recurred. One of the interesting things for us is we've made a new nanomaterial that we could actually see a difference. And we could potentially make cancer a chronic disease. And if I can help one patient with this in my long-term sort of career, then all of it was worth it.
Bless you. A chronic disease instead of a terminal disease. Okay. Ketamine might destroy. I'm just going to move on, guys. And I think I'm actually done. What do I got? I got so many more stories. I can't get through all of these. We got kimchi. We got... Alright. Let's stick with the Chinese theme. The winner of a Zhangji or Chinese chess tournament has been stripped of his title after allegations of inappropriate behavior. Yan Chenglong has also been accused of cheating by using a communication device analogous to anal beads. What? Oh. Wow, he had something in his butt? That's interesting. The 48-year-old has been stripped of his title and banned from playing for a year. However, the Chinese Jiangxi Association says it's impossible to prove allegations of cheating. Jiangxi has been hugely popular across Asia for hundreds of years. Take a look. What is this game? Oh. Oh, fuck. Elephant chess. Okay. Most popular board game in China. Oh, man. My wrist is hurting now. Fuck. What the hell? Body. What's wrong with my body? Why is it falling apart? I didn't do anything today. Is it the natural gas leak in this place? What the fuck? According to the CXA, Mr. Yan started drinking with friends in his hotel room shortly after winning at a national tournament in Hainan. He then defecated in the bathtub of his room in an act that damaged hotel property and violated public order and good morals. I mean, he got too drunk and shit himself. What do you want? The CXA was forced to address rumors circulating online that he cheated using anal beads equipped with wireless transmitters to send and receive signals. How do you send signals with an anal bead? I get if you're getting signals, like this certain type of maybe a frequency of buzzing, you know, kind of like Morse code in his butt, you know? Maybe he's getting Morse code in his butt. But how do you communicate back? Is he squeezing his butt? Is he clenching his cheeks and his anal sphincter in a type of Morse code to communicate back? Based on our understanding of the situation, it's currently impossible to prove that he engaged in cheating via anal beads, as speculated on social media. As punishment for bad behavior, he was stripped of his title and banned from playing for a year. The association did not disclose the amount of prize money he was forfeiting, but tournaments often promise winners tens of thousands of dollars. And when he does come back, he's going to have to play naked so they can prove that he doesn't have anal beads. Alright, I'm done. This next story is too big. I know I only got 23 minutes left until midnight, but I'm going to cut it there. Thanks for tuning in, Rick. Whoever else is in the chat, thank you. If you're watching now, if you're watching on the replay, thanks. I'll just give you a quick update with my channel. You know, I've been trying to monetize forever, and I'm getting closer. 2,410 view hours. I need to get to 3,000, so 590 590 view hours. You know, it's a slow grind, but I'm not ready. I feel like it's it's a government conspiracy. They're not going to let me monetize until I'm worthy. So all these streams that are subpar, it's practice to get good, and hopefully I'll learn. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing the same thing over and over again, so that's not a good idea. But you let me know. Send me a message if you think there's a way that I can improve my channel, improve my show, and other type of videos that you want to see. Rick, thank you so much for the suggestion today. I think it was a good song, and I'm gonna check out for sure the whatchamacallit, the social services application and all that, so I can get some money and stuff, some assistance. I appreciate your assistance. I'll be back tomorrow, so see you then. Have a great night. Over and out. Oh, and I'm also gonna send your tracks tomorrow. Okay. Anybody wants to know more about the food I make or about my health coaching, just go to masterluki.com and or just leave a comment. I'll get back to you. I read all the comments because it's not that many, so it's easy for me. All right.